welcome to tonight's training call. Tonight's a very special call, the 18th of April, 2024. Guys, can you believe we are a third into the year? How insane is that? So I managed to pin Javi Solis from New Jersey, USA, down tonight. We've been missing each other literally the last 2 months, and I'm so excited. Javi and I, we've been on the phone just about every day this week, and Javi's got some really exciting stuff to share with us. And I've known Javi for, my goodness, nearly a year and a half. Nearly a year and a half. Can you believe it? How time flies. And we got to meet in person at the This Is It event in August last year in the USA. And let me tell you something, nothing like meeting people in person and giving each other the biggest bear hug ever. I thought Harvey squeezed me so tight, I thought my eyeballs were going to pop out. And we've got to know each other over the last year and a half. And let me tell you something. Harvey's been in this beautiful industry for 17 years, been part of Lifeway for nearly 2 years. And the amount of wisdom and knowledge that comes out of this man's mouth, there's people that walk the walk and talk the talk. And I've never met anybody that's got this much passion and this much wisdom. And he's my mentor, he's my friend, and I'm actually absolutely honored to have you on the call tonight to speak to a lot of new people that part of our team that haven't met you yet. So, guys, put your safety belt on, strap it tight, clip it in, and hold on tight and get the popcorn out. Kari, my brother, over to you.
Listen, I'm sorry to start the call like that. I'm just full of energy. Lately, I've been starting to call like that to raise the energy up in the room because I want people to understand the excitement they should be having in their DNA being part of this company. I don't think people get it yet. I think they have an idea, but they haven't gotten it yet. So what I'm going to do, I'm trying to fast forward it for everybody. And lately, my calls have been dealing with lots of excitement, not excitement of hype about the product, about yourself, about being excited about yourself, being a part of something that's bigger than you. Okay, so this is going to be an in-depth training. We're gonna go over a couple of things. So I'm going to ask the people to get the pen and the pads ready. There may be one thing that's going to elevate your business from where it is to where you want it to be, to take one step further to where you want to go in your business. Okay, and I want to congratulate everybody for being here, because you could be doing something else. You could be hanging out with some friends, you could be watching boring Netflix, you could be doing something non-productive for your life. And I applaud you, everyone, for being here, because you took charge of your life. You should be applauding yourself that you're here, because you want to solve something. Today is taking one step further to where you want to go in your LifeWave business, because it's a journey. Everything that I say, for people who I've speaking from groups on this call that I've taken under my wing for the past couple of weeks, what you see is what you get. There's no gray in the middle with me, and they appreciate that, because that's my job. Okay, as a business partner, as a brother. And the one thing I'm going to say, I'm not your boss, I'm not your father, I'm not your husband. I will never tell you what to do, but I will suggest it. And normally when I suggest something, I'm pretty much 98% right, because I made that mistake. And my job is to take everyone's target, whether it's a year target, 6-month target, and make it to a 3-month target, because I want you to win faster than everybody else. Okay, and the one thing that this team here is a mixture. It's mostly from South Africa, but I see the UK here. I see Germany here, because I see Alexandria here. I see P&J here. I call them P&J, not for peanut butter and jelly, but for Justine and Phil. They're from the UK. And majority of the people here are from, I'm sorry, Romanowskis. We got some Floridians here. All right. But the majority of the people here are from South Africa. And the one thing that when I came into this business, and I told corporate, I said, well, you know what, guess what? I just got a couple of years in South Africa. And the first thing that they said was, you're not going to build it. And I stood silent like I was right now. I said, oh. You see, from people who know me, never tell me I'm not going to be able to do something, because I'm going to do it on purpose. Okay? And I'm going to do it on purpose to prove you wrong. And guess what? That's what's happening here. And I don't know the statistic, but Chris said it, I think, a week or two ago, how South Africa grew. I think, what was it, Chris? Correct me if I'm wrong, 320%. I'm sorry, 278%. From zero, from being on the bottom of the list to being one of the top 5 when it comes to growth. Okay, and where does that volume come from? It comes from the 333. It comes from Merle's group. It comes from different teams that are here collectively building this business together, from bringing that volume, from proving people wrong. Okay, and I know you didn't do it for anybody else. You did it for yourself because you want to live that more meaningful life. But the one thing I want to tell you is, guys, during this process of building a LifeWave business, it's going to be a journey for you. Okay, and I'm going to go back, because I never make a point without telling a story, and I never tell a story without making a point. Okay, and that should be written down in stone for everybody here, because this business is all about telling stories and resolving problems. And everyone that's here, all 70 of you that are here, in some way, shape, or form, LifeWave resolved your problem. Okay, I'm going to make the Zoom interactive. This is not the Javi show. This is not the Chris show. This is not the Merle, Roseanne show, the Caroline show. We are a team collectively leading people to have that more meaningful life and putting them in a position to win. And everybody in agreement. Thank you. Thank you for the nods of the head. Thank you for the winks in case you didn't want to raise your hand. Thank you for the nod of the head if you didn't want to raise your hand because you're probably shy or embarrassed. Get over it. We're amongst family here. Okay, we're amongst family here. And one of the things that I try to do is to pull something out of you, which I told Chris the first meeting, which was Chris, and I'm just going to do some name dropping here. Okay, if I can't name all 71 of you, it's probably because I don't know you. I haven't personally met you, or there's just too many names to say, you know. But when I first met Chris and when I first met Merle, Ashley, Roseanne, you know, Sandy, Jules, the one thing that I want to do is pull something out of you that you don't think you ever had. And that's to see the other side of you. This business is going to do that for you. Okay, it's going to do that for you. And I'm going to run down a bunny trail on certain things because you're going to understand that the aha moments that you're going to get is going to make lots of sense to you, because this business is in a journey from where you are to exactly where you want to be, which is what? SPD. SPD is the target. SPD is the target for everybody. And everyone is doing their due diligence and everyone is doing their ground game to get there. I see it all. I applaud it all. You know, the tour that Chris and Lucinda on, man, I can't understand the miles and the money they put in there because they have their target. Other leaders here like Roseanne and Merle, the Romanowskis and Sandy and Tilly, people are putting the time and the effort to come in and build the business that they always want, because it's called sacrifice. It's called sacrifice. But one of the things that we all suffer people from, and I'm just going to ask a quick question, okay? And I'm going to be the first one to raise my hand. In my 17 years experience, I have been through peaks and valleys because I knew that everyone is capable to do anything that they want. But write this down. But the question is, are you willing? Everyone's capable to do whatever they want to do and to their full potential, but are you willing to actually do it? Are you willing to go through the peaks and the valleys to get to the SPD and build that journey and build that story to tell somebody, I am here because I went through this and I went through that and I suffered through this and I suffered through that. Because if it was easy, there'll be 773 people on this Zoom call. But there's 73 pioneers of people who are open-hearted and open-minded to receive a message and go out to live that life that they always wanted to live. And inspires me, and I wake up every morning with such gratitude, because you know what? In life, we all ask for things. Okay, we all ask for things in life, but we never know when we're going to get it. I always say a bad thing at the right time can be a curse, but a right thing at the right time can work miracles. And that's exactly what's happening here. the growth that's happening here because people made the decision to say, you know what? I want to be different than everybody else. I want to leave the pack, and I just don't want to live the life of average, which is fine. But everybody here are not wired up for that. They're not wired up to live a life of average, because you want to know why? In this world is so broken. It's so broken that the majority of the people in the world live in the 95%. And the 95% are the people who think that success or abundance or the life they want to live is so far ahead when it's really right in front of you, because they hold on to that, because they live with experience and they live with memory, they live with pain, and they live with people telling you that you can't do something, and then you begin to believe it. Has anyone ever experienced it? I'm going to put 2 hands up for that. And if you don't put your hands up, wink, do something. Because everybody has at some point said that you couldn't do something in your life. And they said it over and over and over again, that you began to believe it, and it became a part of you, the way you thought. And I remember when I met Sandy, and I told Sandy, Sandy, man, all we have to do is change the way people think. If we could reprogram the way people think, it changes the game for everybody. And that's what everybody's doing here. But some people still hold on to 95%. But who is the 5%? Can anybody say? Don't cheat, because in some teams here, I told this, don't cheat. And I see the ones who are smiling, because I know you're talking about. The 5% are children. Children don't live in memory and history because they dream big. They want to have big homes and big castles. They want a husband that's 6 foot with muscles and to protect the home. And they just want beautiful things because there's no history or memory in their life. Why do you think they dream big? But when they come into the real world, and people who are already in the 95% raising those children, they start to believe it too. We got to break the status quo, because guess what our children are doing? They're watching who we are. Children, they don't learn it, they catch it. They catch what they see. So I want to, in front of my boys, I want to be the best role model. And everyone is doing the same thing here, because our kids watch us. And if you don't have any kids, you're going to get prepared for this time of your life at one point. But you're already going to be ahead of the game, because you already have that learned behavior. I had to unlearn lots of behaviors in my life to get where I am. And we're going to go through that. And the reason why I'm vulnerable and transparent, and leaders should be vulnerable and transparent, because you become relatable to the eye. Because if this was easy, everybody would be doing it. But if somebody gets a no, and someone says you're in a scam, or someone says you're doing this, you feel defeated, especially for someone who you really care about. But you know something, folks? We can't take people to a place where they don't desire to go. We can't. We all suffer from depth perception. That's the 95%. Depth perception. Because you want to know something, folks? All 75 people here, at one point in a family's life, in a wealthy family's life, at one point, they wasn't wealthy. At one point. But there's always the one person that changed the trajectory of the family's life. And guess what? All 76 of you are the one. Chris, you're the one. P&J, you're the one. Roseanne, you're the one. Merle, you're the one. Hey, Joe, you're the one. I'm the damn one in my family. You are the one. That's why you decided to say yes and say, you know what? There's a problem in my life I couldn't resolve. Here comes LifeWave. Holy crap. What is LifeWave? How is that going to change the trajectory of my life? Come into a group of 77 people here. I'll show you how. Or they'll tell you how. Hey, when I started in this business, listen, I had a lady who just said to me, hey, Javi, I found a way we can help some people and make some money. Listen, she didn't know how broke, disgusted I was. All I heard was making money. went to see, she showed me the business plan and I didn't understand. I still thought it was a scam or something. But here's the difference, folks, and agree with me if you want. You're here because someone made you thirsty enough to keep drinking, right or wrong? Someone made you thirsty enough to want to keep drinking. Oh my God, I met this leader and I heard him speak in the Zoom call. And you know what? I'm so thirsty. I want to see what's next. And I want to see what's next. And that's our job. We're hope givers. And we want to give people hope that it's okay to feel defeated at one point in your life. People are going to let you down. People are going to let you down, but it's okay. Everybody in my business, I only sponsored one person who I knew. One. Linda Sanchez. That's it. Everybody else was but strangers that I didn't know from a bar of soap. But they became my family. And guess what? The majority of them are right in front of me right now. I wake up with such passion and such intensity to do this because it's in my level of gifting. There's two things I'm good at, folks, okay, which is my gift. I'm a good listener. I'm a good problem solver. I think I'm an okay speaker. I think I can speak, okay? But I'm a good listener. I can find someone's problem just by listening to him. I can find out what's wrong with somebody's business by just listening to what they say. I'm a good observer of life. But I want you guys to remember that you are the one. And if you think you're not, then you probably are. I'm here to tell you that. Get out of the depth perception. Stop putting yourself in this box because the beginning of your journey you came out the gates running, wanting to be successful in LifeWave, and you think you forgot about the journey and you worry about the results. Forget about the results, because when someone tells you no, and someone tells you no, and someone tells you no, you put yourself in this soapbox. I'm not worthy. I'm not good enough. I can't build an amazing team. That's a self-inflicted box. Till today, I get no's. But you know what the difference with me was? I didn't give a damn. I knew I was going to find someone who says yes. And that's what I'm going to teach today. In the taproot. I want you to write this down. Every day when you look at your business, I want you to ask yourself, how deep are my roots? And I want you to think about that. And I want you to ponder on that for a little bit. But I'm going to ask Chris to do a couple of things for me. Okay. When I first started this business, and I'm going to leave that question open-ended for now because I really want you to think about how deep are my roots? Am I building on the surface with people who I just sponsor, or am I really building deep down in my roots? And what am I doing? What do I mean by deep in my roots? The people who are in your organization, not on top, but the people who are in it. So when I first started, this lady made me thirsty enough, and I went to a meeting and I met somebody there who was actually my sponsor now, called Mike Hernandez. Okay, if Chris can put that picture up. It's pretty embarrassing, but it is what it is. Look how ghetto fabulous I was. My first exposure ever to network marketing. Look at Mike, he's 90 pounds wet. And he had more hair. Now, folks, this is at this point, I was still so confused. Okay, you can take it off, Chris. I was still so confused. I didn't know. But being around people who want more in life made me feel so good. Doesn't it make you feel so good to be around in this group right now, as opposed to listening to someone talking some negative crap to you about what's going on with the freaking solar system, or which is probably not true, or what happened in the New Jersey housewives, which really doesn't give me a damn for me, or what's happening in the housewives of New Jersey. I'd rather come here and help somebody go manage, if you ask me. So at that point, you know, I still wear my hat backwards, okay? But I had a lot of growing I had to do. You're talking about to the core of no knowledge, not knowing how to deal with people, and the importance of you being on the Zoom call and plugging into the teachings and into the training, because you can't give something that you don't have. You can't give wisdom, experience, love, compassion if you don't have it. Let me tell you something. I love people, but I didn't know I wanted to be a baseball player. I wanted to sign autographs. I'm doing a total opposite right now. Okay? Who would have known that this was going to be my level of gifting? And I knew that I wasn't perfect, and neither are you. But one wise man told me, Javi, you are an imperfect person. We're trying to help imperfect people in this imperfect world. That was like a gut punch to me, because I felt that I wasn't worthy to do something significant in my life. So I had to learn myself how to lead, how to grow, how to take criticism, how to take gut punches, how to teach people to be a different version of themselves in order for me to get to where I am right now. It took me 17 years, 16 rather. Now it's 16 years to get to where I am today. Is not, please don't take my journey, my long journey, as yours. The difference is I have experience over you, but you have experience over me. The majority of you have experience of life. I didn't. I was uneducated. I didn't know how to deal with people, but I felt so good to be around this. I made the decision to want more. So I decided on my journey to go in the ups and the downs and the ups and the downs, and build a team, lose a team, get people in. You know, my first no was my mother back in the day. That's a big gut punch. She tells me, I'm not taking your product. I'm not taking care of kids. You can do what you want. Who would have thought my mother was my first no? Didn't even buy them. At that time was a bought juice from me. But she'll buy Tropicana, but she can try to purchase some nice healthy juice that I was in the business back in the day. But it's okay, because that just made me want to do it more. Because I'm wired to do more. I'm wired to do things different. And if in one part of your life, if you were broken and you're not broken anymore, if you came into this business and you were broken, you're not broke anymore, you are intensely qualified to show people how not to be broken and how not to be broke. Experience and wisdom is everything. Those are the best teachers, not people who read a book and then they teach it. You can tell that's fake. But when you hear the intensity and the passion in somebody's voice, because there was some pain point in somebody's life that got them the way they are and to where they want to get to go to. But it's all about depth perception, folks. It's all about depth perception and where you want to take your life. And I'm talking to you with experience. I've been through my fair share of being in the pits and losing myself and not knowing where to go. And I'm sure, and this is a personal question, I'm not going to ask people to raise their hands, but I know who I'm talking to. But here's the difference, folks. And before you guys came into LifeWave, have you ever had some part of you that you felt like not defeated, but you felt like that no one believed in you that you could do something significant? No one really believed that you can do something great and create what you're creating right now. Has everyone ever experienced that? But being part of this community right now, didn't it change everything? Some people faster than others. Listen, I'd rather be a crock pot than a microwave. Okay? A crock pot will lather in there. It'll make you juicy. It'll get you from the inside out. A microwave is something so fast and it doesn't last long. It gets cold fast. I'd rather be a crock pot and become the juiciest leader that you can actually be. And every day I want to be better than yesterday. I want to be better. I'm always learning. I pop in on these calls. I don't speak because it's great to see other people's lead. People don't have to hear me speak all the time. We're here to create leaders, folks. Okay? I take something out of you that you don't think that you have. I push, and I push. And I do it to everybody. I don't favor no one. If people know who have worked with me personally. Why? Because I want you to see a better version of you that the world couldn't see, but I see it because I'm out of the picture frame. I have the experience. And don't get me wrong, there's people who have called me out on my bullshit too. I make mistakes. And I'm okay with that. I know when to put my tail between my legs. Okay? Because I'm not perfect. But here's the deal, folks. Here's what changes the game of everything. When you actually show someone that you believe in them, that changes everything. I have had heart-to-heart conversations with many people on this Zoom. And all I do is sit there and listen, ask the right questions, and they will let out everything that they had bottled in because all they wanted to do was voice how they felt. As leaders, we have to do more of the listening than the talking. Okay? We have to be the guide. You don't want to be that leader that says, come follow me, follow what I do with the big S on your chest and do what I'm doing. Absolutely not. You go down into the crowd and you listen to what people are saying. That's what leaders do. We have to lead by example. I don't watch people's mouths, folks. If anyone knows me, what do I watch people with their what? Can anyone answer? Yes, Ashley, with their feet. Yes, Merle, with your feet. I watch people's feet. I don't watch their mouths. A mouth can say a million words, but the feet shows everything. And the minute that I came and I started into this group, I said, Chris, watch my feet. Don't watch my mouth. Because I'm going to do what I say what I'm going to do. And everybody here is doing the same thing. I'm going to tell you a story. My first time getting into entrepreneurship. I was so broke, folks. I was so bad, so bad. And there was one man called John Burns, and people have seen the story before, heard the story before. He had the life that I always wanted to live. Multiple hats, real estate, stock market. And I had just started getting in. It was right when that meeting with Mike Hernandez, and he inspired me to be a business owner and to do things on my own. And we all go through storms. We're all going to go through different storms in our life. I know, and I don't mean to put you on blast, but P&J just went through a storm, and you know what, they got out of it but in those storms you learn something, folks. You get wisdom and you get experience from that storm, because on the other side of that storm is another version of you. Every storm runs out of rain, but people hold on to that storm and they make it into a sentence, knowing that on the other side of that storm, there's a different version of Chris. There's a different version of Merle. There's a different version of Christina. There's a different version of Sandy, of Bridget. Every storm always runs out of rain. Every year, we want to improve ourselves every year. When I got into LifeWave, I was 51. I'm 52 now. There's a different version of me now. This is another quarter. I'm going to punch this business in the throat. You have no idea where I'm going to take this now. But that's how I think. So John Burns went through a storm. He was my first inspiration of getting into entrepreneurship. And he had a downfall in his marriage. And he started drinking. And I call him the angel that got away, because after a certain point, we never kept in contact. And I called him once and I asked him, John, are you ever going to stop drinking? And he says, you know what, Javi, I don't know. Life is hard for me. But he told me this, and it was tattooed to my brain. But I tell you one thing, Javi, I'm going to stop drinking for one more day. And this is why I like talking about the power of one. Okay? He said, I'm going to stop drinking for one more day. Everybody here that says they feel defeated and they hate the no's and people tell them you're wasting your time. Don't, just show of hands, that anybody ever wanted to just hang it up and quit? I'm putting up 2 hands. Put up your hand, Rosan. Don't nod your head. Put up your hand. I'm gonna call you out. Me too. Me too. But that's a distraction. That's the way we think. It's the way we think. Because our program is still holding on to the 95% because we want it so bad for somebody else. So he told me, I'm just gonna stop drinking for 1 more day. Time went on, I started my network marketing business as a total newbie, ignorant on fire. Got nose out the wazoo. One day he called me, he goes, hey Javi, how's that network marketing thing going? I tried to recruit him, by the way, he shot me down bad. Okay. And I said, he goes, how's it going? I said, it's going all right. He goes, do you feel like quitting? I said, hell, absolutely, yes. He goes, do yourself a favor. Just don't quit for 1 more day. Just don't quit for 1 more day. That 1 more day led to 17 years for me. Because every day that I feel defeated, every day that someone tells me no, every day when someone tells me it couldn't be built in South Africa, it couldn't be built here, I went to build it for 1 more day. So here's the deal, folks. One person can change the trajectory of your life. One. I'm going to give you an example. In my roots, which we're going to talk about in a few minutes, deep in my roots, there was someone who got enrolled who was probably a director. Sponsored someone who sponsored someone who sponsored someone who put in over 1,000 people in the business. 1,000. One person. This person went from director to executive to presidential, now SPD, making about $9,800 a week right now because of one person. If you don't do a meeting because you only have one person there, shame on you. You never know who your next senior presidential director is going to be. I stress that strongly. And if there's nobody on the Zoom call, we do a training. We keep it productive. But if you feel defeated and if you feel, you know what, this business is not for me, stop. Just stop. Because you promised your children, if you have children, you promised your spouse, you promised your son and your daughter that you were going to do this. Because you tell your children or you tell your spouse, I want to be happy and I want you to be happy because I want you to have a good life. But you want to know something? We think that our children are the apple to our eye when we're really the apple to theirs. Because they watch what we're doing and they're learning a behavior that if my parents quit, then it's okay for me to quit. That pill doesn't feel good in my stomach. And I'm sure it's not going to feel good in anyone's stomach that's here either. So they're going to, at some point, they're going to call you out. Wait, mommy, daddy, you want me to be happy, but what about you? There's a big, large pandemic of neglect in this world. And it's not neglect of children or your spouse, it's the neglect of yourself. I'm going to have Chris play this video. And it might hit some between the eyes. It hit me between my eyes. But I'm going to let Chris play this video real quick. Damn, he's handsome.
Okay. Daddy is the sweetest daddy in the world. is the most handsome, the smartest, the most clever, the kindest. He is my Superman. Daddy wants me to do well at school. Daddy is just great, but he lies. He lies about having a job. He lies about having money. He lies that he's not tired. He lies that he's not hungry. He lies that we have everything. He lies about his happiness. He lies because of me.
At the end, Javi?
Yes, Dan, you can stop sharing the screen. Yeah. Every time I see that video, it touches me too. Because our children watch us and we promise things to our children, we promise things to our spouse, and they're expecting us to deliver. So the neglect is not to them, the neglect is on us, not living our dream, living to our potential. And you ask yourself, one day you woke up or you slept at night and you say, what do I need to do to improve me? LifeWave ended up on your lap, not by an accident. It ended up on your lap on purpose. I knew when I got remarried, I said, I'm going to give my wife the best life she ever deserved. My boys, the best life they ever deserved. My son, Alex, the best life he ever deserved that he always and he will get. This patch changed the trajectory of his life. And this patch that you have in your hand is changing the trajectory of your life. Get out of the 95%. You guys are movers and shakers, and it's on your lap because your level of gifting is needed. It's needed. And I came from ghetto fabulous, but I had to work on me. And if you are where you are in your business, it's for a reason. because you have not gone into your roots and you haven't worked on you. I'm very intentional when it comes to teaching. Groups that I'm working with, they know I'm very big when it comes to teaching, and I'm very big when it comes to leadership. Your business will never outgrow your level of leadership. How deep are your roots? And what do I mean by that? How many people down in your organization are you helping go manager? The more managers you make, the deeper your roots get. If you're working on the surface, there is no roots. Who are managers here right now? Raise your hands. Ask yourself, how deep are my roots? I got 4 people in my organization. What am I doing to expose my team to my upline leadership so they can see a different version and get more thirsty enough to want to keep drinking? What you learn today, you have to teach it to your people. You invest in your time to be here. You're being taught. You're learning. Now teach it. This is not a book club for me to teach you something. I'm giving you what I have up here so you can go on and teach it to somebody else in your team. And if you feel that this is not impactful to you and it's a waste of time, please get off the Zoom right now. I want people to win. For people who know me, I take this business seriously because I take people's lives seriously. Because you want to know why? Because my life was taken seriously by somebody else. And I'm grateful for them every single day for gut punching me and for guiding me. But I always maintained the student. I was always teachable. And they said, one day, Javi, you are going to teach this. It's coming into fruition. I have to say, listen, God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the call, folks. All of you are called to do this. All of you, whether you believe it or not. How deep are your roots? But you want to know something? It just takes one more text, one more email, one more hug, one more telling somebody you believe in them, one more phone call to change the trajectory of your life and your business. One more. But the question is, folks, if you're living in a 95%, we don't know how many one mores we have. We're not promised tomorrow. Why stay here when right in front of you is everything you wanted in your life? The only thing is, we were all created to be rich, skinny, and happy. Well, that didn't work out. I'm in the gym every day. We have to work for what we have, man. We're all made of flesh. We're given the opportunity. We just have to work it. You're not disqualified because you feel you're imperfect. It makes you actually qualified to do this. Everyone here is qualified to teach. Everyone here is qualified to inspire. But you got to stop being inspired. I don't want to be here to inspire you. I want you to stop being inspiring and start doing the inspiring. Stop being inspired. Start doing the inspiring. You all have it. But sometimes we don't see it because the way we think. I'm no different than you. But I moved on with my growth. I moved on. I made a decision to be a better Javi. And then I met Steve and Gina Merritt. Then Steve and I went on a tour. First, you can show that picture. Well, that was a cool picture. That was in Brazil. Never thought in my right life I'd be in Brazil, building out there with Steve. That was just another version of me because I kept on learning. Remember, I just told you before, you're going to have another version of yourself on the other side of what you're going through right now, on the other side of those no's, on the other side of those managers, on as deeper you go into your roots. And I kept on in building in me. In the next picture, everybody knows this man. Eric Worre. Yeah, I dressed hideous at that time. My goodness. You could tell Olga wasn't in my life at that time. My God. But I wanted to be a better me. Okay, you can take it off. It doesn't mean to be successful, you had to be bald, just like Eric Worre wasn't me. That was a coincidence. But I'm no different than any of you. I just wanted to be better than me, better than yesterday. Your team is depending on you. If you don't do it, if you don't plug in, then your team is not going to plug in. If you don't expose, then your team is not going to do it either. Why do I talk about Believe here? And why the conference in July that we're doing is called Believe? Everyone should be going virtual if you're living in South Africa or Australia or whatever. The Romanowskis are going to be there up close and personal because they live in Florida. Guys, it's important and it's crucial to your business to be a better version of you. And I'm not, and I'm here to impress upon you. If it's good for one, it's good for another. And it's not, I'm not here to say, hey, how bad you want it. No, you have to want that yourself the same way I wanted it. And talking to Ian, you guys are hungry. You guys are hungry. But you know what? We're going to get off this Zoom. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. You ready? You're going to get off this Zoom. You're going to get the phone call. Someone's going to probably piss you off. Your boss is going to get you mad. Someone's going to tell you no. One of your friends are going to be like, hey, let's come in. Let's go hang out in the bar. Let's hang out with the sorority sisters. Ugh, makes me want to throw up even saying that. Because they don't want to see you be better than them. You are, what's that word? Help me out here. You are something to them. You are, help me out here, folks. See, I'm not perfect. It starts with an I. My goodness. Come on, Merle. I say this all the time. I just forgot it right now. Well, you bother them. You're fearful. There it goes. They're fearful because they see a better version of you. And it bothers them that they can't be the same way when they can. All you have to do is guide them to do it. They have to want to do it, have the desire to do it. So I say again, if you're a manager today, threatened. That's it. Raj always comes through, threatened. They're threatened by that. You left the pack. Oh, you think you're better than us? No, I love you where you're at, but I just want to be a better me. Listen, I don't come on here much. I have a lot of people who I work with, but South Africa is special to me. It is. All right? Because they said it couldn't be done. And it's happening. And you should be proud of yourselves. The difference that you're making in that country. Because people, that one more phone call, that one more text is waiting for you to do it. They're waiting. We just got to discover who they are. That's the hard part of this business. Ever heard of you this song "Row, Row, Row Your Boat"? Anyone? Okay, when we were growing up, that's like no's. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Yes. No, 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 yes. No, 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 yes. It's the same way. Deal with it. It's the journey. It's a story to tell. You guys are doing amazing things. Amazing things. I can't wait to go out. I remember when Chris said when we met, I thought he was my height, but he was really tall. And my face hit his stomach. I'm not a midget either. So don't think I'm a midget. But I do give good hugs, okay? That the spit comes out of your mouth. I'm a hugger. My wife's a hugger. Okay, I'm 5'5", 5'6", guys. I'm not a midget. So, but it's nothing better than to see somebody in person and say, man, we are family. We built this community of people that want more life, want to do something about it. Doesn't it feel good? That's what this business is about, man. The byproduct is the money. That's the byproduct. But if you do the right steps, but in this step, you're probably missing one step, and that's probably going into your roots. You have this incentive trip here coming. Okay, you have an incentive trip coming to Morocco, and I resent the fact that you have cooler trips than us. We're going to Dominican Republic. I've been there 50 million times. I want to go to freaking Morocco. But what do? It's getting points, helping your team, being intentional, making managers, helping people rank advance, enrolling customers. And then with the promotion you're having right now, the manager to director bonus is going to help that. Listen, my wife and I said a bunch of you end up going to that trip. We're gonna get some tickets and go hang out with you because we want to see you guys in person. Yes, we're going to South Africa. We had babysitting issues. We had 3 boys, Alex, but we have an au pair coming in at the end of July, so it's on and popping when it comes out there, when we go out there. It's not a 2-day trip. It's going to take us like 17 hours to get there, you know. But what about this? Who wants to go on this? Who wants to go to Morocco for free? Everybody should be raising your hand. The company made it so much easier, even adding points to stay at rank. They have the money. We just have to execute. Listen, it's already mine. It's already done. I'm already in Punta Cana. I already spoken. I'm there. You have to say that to yourself. I'm a manager. Who are these 4 am I going to help go manage so my roots can get deeper? The deeper your roots, the bigger your organization, the more volume there is. And volume turns into what, folks? Right, it turns into money. That's the byproduct. You got to go deep in your roots. You have to be intentional. Is it easy? No, it's not. Please don't take this that it hasn't been an easy road for me. But I was willing. Remember, are you willing? Every morning I wake up before my feet hit the ground. I'm so gratitude. I'm grateful for what I've gotten, what I've created, and what's being created with the leaders that are here. As long as you're grateful, you'll open the doors to always get more. Remember, we're supposed to be rich, skinny, and happy. We were created for greatness, folks. It's already yours. It's already mine. Every day. You know, say to yourself, I can do anything I set my mind to if I'm willing to pay the price for greatness. Boy, did I pay the price. I can tell you stories, and I'm just making this for time constraints because of, you know, people. I know you guys have things to do. You have children to feed or spouses to take care of. I really, really love you all. You have no idea. I just want everybody to win. But you have to help me, help Chris, help Merle, help Razan, help Cindy, help Jules, okay, help David, help Bridget, help us help you. Listen, Graham has been here since day 1 because he believed in the 1 mores. We don't know how many 1 mores we have, folks. We want to know how many 1 more minutes, 1 more moments. Get out of the 95%. Go back into the 5. Create the life you wanted to live. I'm telling you, you remember this Zoom call, you remember this conversation, and magic will happen. Anyway, Chris, I think that's all I got for today.
Wow. Don't know if you guys have taken as many notes as I've taken. Gems. Thank you, Javi. You are a legend. And guys, I've met people that work hard. I've met people that have got a strong work ethic. Never in my life have I ever met anybody with a work ethic like Javi. Like I say, I think he eats, never mind just patches. I think he's patched like a Dalmatian and eats batteries every day. Next level. Javi, thank you. Thank you so much for your training. Um, I think everybody got a lot out of it. And the timing couldn't have been more impeccable. Couldn't have been more impeccable. And, it's all about meeting the people where they're at and hugging people. I love what you said just now, meeting the people. And when you said you give bear hugs, we cannot wait for you to come and meet this team in South Africa. And I've got a funny feeling it's going to happen very, very soon. And, we're having our first mini convention, our first South African mini convention, guys, on the 25th of May. We booked the venue 2 days ago. It takes 350 people. And this is where all these beautiful people are all going to come together. And a lot of people on the screen, you don't know it yet, but you're going to be training. You've got a lot to give to this beautiful community. And Kavi, the wisdom and knowledge that we've got from you, like you say, it's all about your leadership lid. And a lot of people lifting their leadership lid. A lot of people are coming to the table, and you're going to see some beautiful things happening here in South Africa. And you've played a very big role. From my side, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything you do for us down here in South Africa. We appreciate you more than you ever know. Thank you.
Last thing, Chris, those who are that event promoted, that's an exposure. People need to see the ghost. People need to see how big LifeWave is outside of a Zoom. That's what the Believe conference is for. That's what October is for. Okay, there's a good handful of people who are coming out here to see the ghost. Okay, listen, there's executives brewing here. There's presidentials brewing here. There's SPDs brewing here. I'm only giving a trailer. I'm not going to give the movie. It said it couldn't be done. You men, get immersed. I got immersed. Okay? I put it around my neck and I go out every day and I share one of these bad boys. There's 4 patches in here. I still do the daily activities. Okay? Have something to chase. Chase somebody. Okay? Chase somebody. I'm proud of you guys. You guys are crushing it. You guys are crushing it. Okay? Amazing leaders are here. And I just can't get over the fact and the difference that you guys are making. Chris, Merle, Roseanne, the Rowanowskis. I want to know everyone's name. Jewel, I'll be here for an hour. But it's not necessary. I'm talking to everyone here. Sandy Feast, my goodness. She's so kind. She's such a good person. And people do business with people who are kind, who have empathy, who have love, who utterly love to see people win. There's 78 people in this call. Not one person got off. And what does that mean? That there's value given here and there's something that somebody needed to take on to the next day. But again, listen, I want to hear other leaders speak. It doesn't have to be about me. I did what I needed to do. Chris, you could, if you want, you can pick 2 people here who wants to share something from the downline.
Okay, Sandy. Here we go. Ask to unmute.
Hi,
You knew I was going to
Chris.
pick you, Sandy. I didn't say anything, but you knew I was going to pick you.
I knew you would, and I know who else you're going to pick. I just know it. All I can say is thank you so much. And as long as we listen, willing to learn, and work with our teams, exactly what Garvey, Chris, everyone teaches us. As long as we duplicate, it'll happen. And that's what we're doing right now. It's working with our team. I love what's happening out there, Chris. Each one, I've had a few team meetings today, as I'm sure all of you have. And we're just working to help the teams, help everyone to achieve. And it's all about helping everyone to improve in health. And everything runs. Thank you. Thank you, Garvey. Thank you to a beautiful, beautiful team. I'm so grateful and I have so much faith in all of you.
Oh, love you, Sandy. Thank you. And Mel, you knew I was going to do it to you, didn't you?
I guess I wasn't going to get away with not speaking. Thanks, Harvey. That training was absolutely amazing. And I know from the first time I met Harvey, he said, look at the feet. And that for me is, what everybody needs to do. Just watch the feet and be, the copycat. Just be a copycat and you can do it. Because if I can, and if Chris can and Sandy can, well, everybody on this call can get there. So if you're a manager, aim for director. If you're not a manager yet, if you're in South Africa or in Europe, there are amazing bonuses for the next few weeks. So that should be a even bigger incentive to get there. And then those next trips, they have made the qualification so easy compared to the one that I've just qualified for. We all need to be there. We can actually see everybody in person. So go for it, everyone. Thanks, Chris.
Jamil, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then I've just asked Ashley, our youngest Floridian in the team, making waves in Florida, an absolute inspiration to me. Wow, at your age, the future that you have ahead of yourself right now, oh my goodness gracious. Wow, wow, wow. Ashley, you're an inspiration. Please chat to our beautiful team in South Africa.
Thank you. I definitely was not expecting you to ask me to unmute. I thought it was a glitch in the Zoom. I was like, okay, I don't want to. But thank you, Javi, for speaking to everyone here. Not a lot of people here know me, but like Chris said, I am very young. I'm 21. I may not look like it. Thank you, Mom, for the genes, but I am 21. And me and my parents, they're both also on this call. We are currently in Florida, USA, if you didn't know where Florida was. And a lot of what Javi said that resonated with me a lot was the fact of the people who are intimidated by you and your growth and your success. Because if you think that you've heard maybe people not supporting you or a lot of no's, try becoming different around people who are living in Miami, who are in their 20s. And if anyone knows about Miami, it's a huge, I guess, party city. So you already know a lot of this people lifestyle and everything. So if I can do it, someone who's so young doing something different than almost literally everyone I know, because I'm not saying being in the comfort zone is a bad thing, but they're all in their comfort zone, college, grad school, master's, bachelor's, all that stuff, which is fine. I was in college. I'm currently doing a gap year, but now that's a gap life. But if I can do it, then if you're 40, 30, 70, then you can also do it as well. And some last advice before I stop talking is something that I've learned a lot and something that Javi always talks to me a lot is two things. One, being uncomfortable. If you're not getting uncomfortable every day, then you're not going to grow and succeed. And the other thing is that you have to work on yourself a lot. If you don't work on yourself, you're not going to grow and your business will not grow, because no matter what career, other thing you're doing, the biggest thing to getting success in life is growing yourself. And then everything else will follow, because in order to get things you've never had, you have to do things you've never done and become someone you've never become as well. I don't know if that was like answering your question or anything. I wasn't expecting that, but for time, that's all I have.
Oh, thank you, Ashley. My goodness, when I hear you talk, I've told you this before. It's like I can close my eyes and you sound exactly like my daughter. And I can't wait because she's in Jacksonville. And one day you're going to meet my daughter and you guys sound exactly the same, like identical. And that's going to be in August. October. Cannot wait. Then you didn't see this one coming, Bridget. Bridget's
No, I didn't.
we like this family. We've known each other for what, 7, 8 years. We worked on different projects together. We've seen our asses. We've been up, we've been down. We've been up, we've been down. And you know what? We spent a lot of time together the last 2.5 months when we were in Nelspruit, and we were just chatting together with Sandy and Lucinda, and we were saying, "Wow, we've been through a lot. We've been through a lot, right? And we can finally this time actually say, this is it. And for the first time in I can't remember how long, we're actually building something on the most rock solid foundation. And we can do this with confidence, knowing that we're not building on sand like everything else we've done before. And we just watched everything fall. This is it. And Bridget, wow, just looking at the change in you of what I've seen, and it's like 180 degrees. And oh, it's so awesome having you part of this beautiful family. We're having so much fun together. Bridget,
We are.
tell us, talk to us.
Ah, yes, well, as I say, the journey started and we are all in for a long, long ride, but it's going to be wonderful every step of the way. And, you know, I'm so blessed to have such a good team around me and the best upline anybody could wish for, because Sandy and we talk every day. So that's another thing I could say as a tip. If you don't feel like doing something, make yourself accountable and speak to your upline, because then they'll know if you're doing something or not. And also just do something in your business every day, whether it's going to be making that phone call or writing an email to somebody, because activity gets results. The day you don't do something, well, of course, nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to change. And, you know, I also speak to people that I don't know, and I'm speaking to people that I've never met in my life before that are in my team as such, because like we say, you see some feet are moving down there somewhere, you've got to find out who those feet are and what they're up to and where they come from. So yes, and then you report back to their enroller and say, like, listen, I'm working with this person in your team and this is what's happening, because they obviously haven't noticed or they're not helping that person. So you as a leader have to just get in there and start doing something to make things happen. And it's a pleasure to get to know people that you don't know. And like the one lady, I met her, she happened to live in Joburg, and I happened to say, well, come, let's have coffee. And her enroller is actually in White River. And the enroller doesn't even know this person either, because it was a friend of a friend who got something all wrong in terms of the lineage. But anyway, it doesn't matter. These things happen, people sending links to people and whatever. And so Cecilia is now busy in Cape Town this week, and she's a beauty therapist. So I've been to her little house and had a beauty facial, and we had a 2-hour chat about LifeWave while she was doing the facial. That's all we spoke about, because we're both so passionate about LifeWave that was a topic of conversation for 2 hours. Yeah, so I'm loving the journey, and I can't wait to carry on going and meeting up a lot of people that I don't know. And Marrakesh is
Awesome.
over here on my desk. I look at it every day. Got lots of
Vision
notes written
board.
on it already.
Vision board, vision board. I'm so glad you mentioned that, Bridget. That is absolutely amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you guys, one day I'll take a photo of my mirror in the bathroom, the inside of my car, on top of the coffee machine, inside of my cupboard. Basically, everywhere you have a look, we've got my little statements, SPD now, SPD now. And you just see it all the time. That's part of your vision board. That is so important, guys, to start with the end in mind, as Stephen Covey says, always have the end in mind. So oh, this is fun, guys. This is so much fun. And the scary thing is we haven't even got started yet. We haven't even scraped the tip of the iceberg. Guys, Javi said I say this all the time. Javi, you stole my line. We are the pioneers. Every single meeting that we do, I say at the end, we are the pioneers. And when it comes to LifeWave, as John Maxwell spoke about in his training, you don't do it all day, but you do it every day. That's the difference. And the secret is consistency. Consistency every single day. Every day. Yes, life happens, shit happens. Everybody's going through something. There's always something that we're dealing with. But you know what? Like Javi says, even if it's making that one last text just before you go to sleep to make sure you've done something in your LifeWave business, So, Javi, you're going to be playing some music leading us
Yes,
out.
who's here going to Morocco? Everybody's hand should be up. Who's going to Morocco? Well, guess what? The Romanowskis and us, we're going to Punta Cana, and we're already there. Suavemente, bésame. That's the music for Punta Cana. We're already there. We're already there. You guys should already be in Morocco. But we're going to be dancing merengue. Good night, everybody. Love you guys. I gotta go.
Love you guys. Love you all. See you guys on the Zoom calls. Good night. God bless. See you all guys soon. Night, everybody. Bye, guys.
Oh, he must have an aneurysm.